Hello, period 4. I wanted to start today with going over the inequality notes. Make sure you upload the notes while we're going through this. I've got 2 sets of notes on there and we're doing both today. Make sure you watch the entire video and go through both sets of notes so you'll be ready for e-learning tomorrow. Hopefully a lot of this comes as a review from last year, and then there'll be some new things as well. Okay, so an inequality, it's a mathematical sentence that compares expressions containing one of these symbols. So this first one says not equal to. This next one says greater than. The next one says less than. This next one, the bar underneath, says greater than or equal to. This one would say less than or equal to. That should be review, okay? So make sure you have those written in if those maybe aren't new. Okay, so that says t is not equal to 4, and the bottom one says t is greater than 4. Okay, a solution of the inequality. Remember, a solution is like an answer, so any number that makes the inequality true. A solution set is the set of all solutions in an inequality. Okay, so a set means there's more than one answer. So, for example, h is greater than or equal to a -2. So, h could be -2, and then anything greater than -2 as well. So, -1, 0, +1, 2, 3, and so on. All of those numbers are greater than -2. Okay. All right, on to graphing. To graph an inequality, we're going to show all of the solutions that satisfy the inequality. That word satisfy means make it true. Okay, so if we wanted to graph x is less than or equal to 3, here's the rules. Okay, we're going to come down here and then go back up to the number line. So you're going to find the starting point and put a circle there. So we're going to plot x as less than or equal to 3. So find +3 on the number line, circle it. Okay, decide which direction the arrow will point. Well, x is all of the numbers that are less than or equal to 3. So all of these numbers would satisfy or make it true. I want you to make sure you have arrows on all of your graphs, okay? Because it goes on beyond -10. It keeps going on and on and on. So put that arrow there. Decide if your circle is open or closed. This may be the new part, okay? An open circle is for less than or greater than, although I just put greater than or less than. Okay, so, and then a closed circle is for greater than or equal to, less than or equal to. So think of that greater than or equal to, less than or equal to, it's including that number. Okay, so if you go back up to our problem that we're graphing, x is less than or equal to 3, x could be 3, so we want to include it in our answer. So we're going to fill this circle in. So x is less than or equal to 3. Since x can be 3, we're going to fill it in. We're going to include it in our answer. Okay, so that's going to be a closed circle. Check your answer by picking a number to see if it works. So if I put -5 in for x, -5, is that less than or equal to a +3? Yes, it is, so it makes sense. So I know that I've chosen the correct way to put my arrow, and I've put any of those numbers on the number line going this way, we can throw in for x and it would make sense. They're all less than or equal to positive 3. Okay. Let's look at the next one. We're going to graph up here, c is greater than a negative 1. Okay, so step 1, find the starting point and put a circle there. Find negative 1 on the number line. It's all of the numbers greater than negative 1. It's pointing to the right, so my line with an arrow should point to the right as well. Decide if it's open or closed, circle. So we want c has to be greater than negative 1. It cannot be negative 1. It's all the numbers greater than negative 1. So we're going to leave it open. Okay. And then check. If I put in 4 for c, 4 is greater than negative 1. It makes sense. So I know I have my arrow going the correct way, and it's an open circle because c can't be negative 1. It's all the numbers greater than negative 1. Okay. What about the next one? M is less than negative 5. Find negative 5 on the number line. We're going to put a circle. The number is less than 5. It's pointing to the left, so all of these numbers would work for M. And we're going to keep it open because it's less than negative 5. We're not including negative 5 in our answer, so it's going to be an open circle. Okay? All right, here's some word problems. And we are to write an inequality for the word problems. AJ has to get higher than a 90 on his next math test in order to keep his B in class. Okay? So higher than a 90. So ask yourself, can he get a 90 and still keep his B? No. The answer is no. He has to get higher than a 90. So the inequality would be x is greater than 90. What if it says he has to get at least a 90 on his next math test? Now he could get a 90 or higher. So that would change the inequality. So now x is greater than or equal to 90. So the key word there is at least, meaning he could have got a 90 or above. Okay. Here's some reminders. Fewer than, less than symbol, greater than, more than symbol, less than or equal to, is at most, is no more than, all means less than or equal to, and some clue words for greater than would be at least, which is like what we did right above, or no less than. Okay, and we're going to use those throughout this lesson, so make sure you keep a hold of those. Okay, moving on to the second page. This is just practicing writing or practicing graphing some inequalities. So the first one would be M is less than 4. Obviously find 4 on the number line. We're going to put a circle. And in M is everything less than 4. So my arrow is going to this way, to the left. And it's going to be an open circle because M cannot be 4. It's all numbers less than 4. Number 2 says, what if it said 4 is less than M? Is this the same thing? And our answer is going to be no, it's not. Okay, here's what you need to remember. Variable, which is your letter, always goes on the left side. Okay, so if you look at number 2, the variable's on the right, that's a no-no. We have to flip it. So if we flip the M on the left, that also means we're flipping the sign. So if you were to read this left to right, you would say 4 is less than M. If you were to read it to the right, M is greater than 4. So we always flip it so the variable's on the left. Okay, so M is greater than 4, you find positive 4. M is all numbers greater than 4, so it's going to go to the right. Okay, and it's an open circle because we're not including 4. Number 3, same thing. The variable is not on the correct side. It has to be on the left. So we're going to flip it, which means we flip the inequality as well. Anytime they're like this on your worksheet, I want to see that you are flipping it. Okay, so you need to rewrite the problem. So now we're going to graph x is less than or equal to 6. So find positive 6 on the number line. It's less than or equal to. So this time it could be 6 as our answer, which means we're including 6 in our answer. So we're going to shade that in. It's going to be a filled in circle. And it's going to point to all the numbers to the left because it's less than or equal to 6. Okay. What about x is greater than 1 and 5/10? Not a big deal. When we have these, instead of just putting a line, you need to label it. This is 1.5. So label those fractions or decimals. It's greater than, which means it's an open circle. And it's pointing to the right. Okay, same with the next. Y is less than a negative 1/2. A negative 1/2 would be between 0 and negative 1. And again, you need to label it negative 1/2. It's an open circle because we're not including negative 1/2 and it's all numbers less, so it's pointing to the left. Okay, so there's a little bit more practice on graphing. Let's talk about solutions. So tell whether the given value is a solution of the inequality. A solution obviously is just an answer, okay? And again, you're going to show your work. So it says y plus 5 is greater than 7 when y is 3, or can y be 3? We're going to plug in 3 for y, and we're only substituting on line 2. You're not doing this in your head. You're substituting. You're showing me your work. You're going to solve. 3 plus 5 is 8. Bring down your inequality. Is 8 greater than 7? Yes, it is. So you're going to write yes. Let's go down. Y plus 8 is greater than 9. Can y be a negative 3? Plug in negative 3 for y, and you should be substituting first. Different signs. The difference is 5. There's more positive, so it's a positive 5. Is 5 greater than 9? No. So your answer is no. The next one, 1/2 b is greater than 5. Can b be 12? 1/2 times 12 is greater than 5. I'm going to do a cross cancel. So 6 is greater than 5. That's true. Yes, b could be 12. Look at the next one. N divided by 2.5 is greater than or equal to a negative 3. Can n be a negative 5? Negative 5 divided by 2.5 is greater than or equal to a negative 3. Remember, first number always goes on the inside. 5 divided by 2.5, you may not have a decimal on the inside. So we're going to get a 2 here. And 1 is positive, 1 is negative, so it's going to be a negative 2 is our answer. Is negative 2 greater than or equal to negative 3? Yes, it is. Negative 2 is greater than negative 3. Remember, numbers to the left is always less, numbers to the right, greater. Okay. Here's what I would like for you to do. I want you to pause the video and try these ones on the right, substituting, solving, giving me a yes or no, and then unpause to see if you have them and if you have them correct. This next one, we're substituting in 2 for x. So 2 minus 2 is 0. Is 0 greater than negative 10? Yes, it is. Substituting in 12 for n, 12 divided by 6 is less than 5. 12 divided by 6 is 2. Is 2 less than 5? Yes, it is. Next one, substitute in 12 for b. Negative 1/2 times 12 over 1 is greater than 5. It's going to be a negative 12 over 2, which is 6. So is negative 6 greater than 5? No. Next one, 1 minus 2 times a negative 5 is less than or equal to a negative 9. Order of operations says a negative 2 times a negative 5 is a positive 10. So this is going to be 11 is less than or equal to a negative 9. No, 11 is not less than negative 9. Okay, so next section, you're going to write an inequality for the following word phrases. So again, you're going to use those keywords from that first page. You are in at least 8 photos, which means 8 or more, right? So at least 8 photos would be greater than or equal to 8. The temperature is less than negative 4, so the temperature is less than negative 4. More than 3 students from your class are in the dodgeball game. More than 3 students would be X is greater than 3. The balance in a yearbook fund is no more than negative 5. It's no more than negative 5. So it could be negative 5, but no more than that. So we're going to say less than or equal to negative 5. Okay? And then on some of them, starting with number 5, it wants us to set up an equation to eventually solve, which will be the next lesson. A number, n, plus 5 is greater than or equal to negative 7.9. You do not have to solve yet. That'll be the next lesson. And then a donut cost $1.25 at Dunkin' Donuts. My total bill was less than $35. Write an inequality that represents the number of donuts I bought. Use D for donuts. Okay, we don't know how many donuts, but they're $1.25 per donut. So we can say $1.25 per donut, and your bill was less than $35. Okay. Alrighty, period 4. We have completed both inequality notes day 1 and 2, which was what we were planning on doing today, both sets of notes. And I believe I'm double checking. Yes, that is all we're doing today. There is no practice for today's lesson. You'll just have an e-learning assignment tomorrow. For tomorrow, you will need to download Chapter 4 textbook and have that pulled up because the box page is not filled out for you. So you'll definitely have to download